If we take a look at Jon Jones versus Gus Part 2, okay, you have to understand this. Both guys remember a really hard night. And as much as Gus wants to come out and tell the media, I beat Jon Jones and I should have won that night, or as much as Jon wants to push back and go, I whipped you and I can whip you just as bad, they both know this is going to be a really hard fight, and they both know that they've already had a really hard fight. Point being, first contact is so important, okay? If I'm Jon Jones and I'm coming out here against Gustafsson, it's very important that I touch him first and I touch him hard. And I remind him of everything that he has known for the last 3 years in separation of this contest, that I'm still the king. What's hard for Jon Jones is when he comes out against somebody as long as Gus, it's a little bit harder to get inside. If you go watch 5 Jon Jones fights, you're going to see 5 different techniques done. You're going to see 5 different strategies done. Nobody adapts, nobody evolves, and nobody brings more skills at a more rapid pace than Jon Jones. He comes out every time you think you have him figured out, and he breaks out a new move. It is the hardest guy in the world for Joe Rogan to sit and announce, because Jon will do a technique that nobody's ever seen before. One thing, though, that you can keep that's a consistent is Jon Jones will always touch his opponent first. So many guys will come out and they'll want to find their ground, or they'll think, who's going to reach out and who's going to touch the other guy? Jon Jones, because he's so long, he'll usually start the fight with a kick. He'll walk across the ring before his opponent can even reach him because he's so long, and he'll throw a kick to the body. He'll start a fight with a kick to the head. Fighters don't do this. They come out, they find their footing, they move around a little, they reach to see where the body is. Some guys real aggressive, they'll come with a tackle. Jon Jones will walk partway across the ring, boom, and he'll kick you right in the stomach. He'll kick you right in the mouth. So it's a little bit of a different fight, because the problem he has is Gus is also so long. And Gus has to be working with the same tools, which Jon Jones, regardless of what he says to the media, did not just go out and kick Gustafsson's butt. Jon goes to bed at night knowing that was a hard fight. He wakes up the day of the fight, no, this is going to be a hard contest tonight. So Gus wants to get to Jones first. I don't mean early. He wants to get to him first, but Jones wants to do the same thing. Something that Gus had tremendous success with in his last fight with Jones was taking Jon Jones down. I tried. Rashad tried. Daniel Cormier tried. And we all failed at wrestling with Jon Jones. He just kept you at a little bit too much of a distance, and then he was too good of a wrestler to just go in there and tackle and get him to the floor. Gus had success doing it. I would offer to you, the reason Gus had that success is he had the element of surprise. Jon was expecting me to try to take him down, Rashad to try to take him down, Daniel Cormier to try to take him down, just to offer some names, but nobody thought that Gus was going to go take him down. So something that Gus was able to do was get in there and mix up that range with him, and when he wanted, he could change elevation and he could tackle him. Gus even did it off of a single leg, if you guys remember. He ended up getting one leg of Jon Jones. The other leg was way up here on the head, and he took him in a circle and drove him to the mat. That's not fantastic wrestling technique, but guess what? If you're controlling the guy's legs and you're controlling his head and you catch him with the element of surprise and now you're in too deep for Jon Jones to react, you're still going to have success with it. What I would offer to you is that Alexander Gustafsson should come out very early in the fight and look for a takedown. I will not suggest for you that he's necessarily going to get the takedown, but I can tell you, when you have that wrestling capability, if I can make my partner all night long wonder and worry if I'm going to try to drag him to the mat, if I can keep his hands just a little bit lower, wondering if he's going to have to protect his hips, all of a sudden, guess what opens up? My strikes. I think that's what Gus needs to have on his side. I think he needs to keep Jon Jones guessing. I think the first time that they fought, Gus told Jones, we're going into a straight-up kickboxing contest unless you try to wrestle with me, because you got pretty good wrestling. What he ended up letting Jones know is, no, I can take you down too. So instead of making it a straight-up kickboxing contest, instead of having this unwritten agreement, Gus needs to come out and surprise him. Gus can attack those legs the same way as Jon did to him. Gus can attack up the body the same way. Gus has great hands. Gus has great elbows. But he needs to remind Jon Jones early that he's also got takedowns. And whether he gets them or not, he needs to offer the threat and make Jones react with respect, putting his hands just a little bit lower than he would normally like them. And that's what's going to be able to open up the strikes.